What's up, everyone, and welcome. If you're new to Veve or just digital collecting or NFTs in general, go ahead and scan that QR code there up in the top right corner to get yourself 10 free gems or 10 US dollars on the Veve digital collecting app. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm going to review this really quickly. I have a couple of small points of like feedback, more like just kind of observations, what's happening in the market, but also more importantly, this challenge is going to be starting very soon. I know I'm about 3 days and 12 hours too late talking about this challenge that Veve's kind of put out there for their collectors, but the challenge is going to start in about like 7-8 hours or so. But I wanted to get this out to you guys because there is actually, that just started today, a very unique feature that will show you how to get the cheapest sets possible. So if you guys do want to go after this challenge, I'm going to show you guys how to do that towards the end of this video. But first things first, so there's going to be 2 challenges. Veve is going to start, obviously, July 22nd, and August 5th is when those challenges are going to start. One's a new unique set challenge, and the other one's an ultimate set holder challenge. I looked at the comments down below. Obviously, it's kind of a mixed bag. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people think it kind of gives advantages to certain users. And I will say this, I think pretty much every challenge Veve is going to do is going to have some sort of slight advantage one way or another. I mean, every challenge is probably going to cost some form of time or money. And whether that works, I know the very first challenge was just kind of more of a time thing, right? You log in, you upvote this, you follow that person, you upload a picture, you do this. So it's kind of just a time thing. Whereas this one, obviously, you're going to have to kind of put some gems into it in order to get sets and kind of get yourself up on the leaderboard. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'll also put a link of the article down in the description below. But first things first, obviously the top 250 participants in each challenge will earn rewards. So that's kind of where it's at. The new unique set challenge that starts tomorrow, July 22nd, going to August 4th, so about 2 weeks. So I'll just read this really quick. This is a fresh and level playing field where only new first-time set completions during the challenge window count. Whether you're a longtime Veve user or brand new to the platform, everyone has a shot at winning. So obviously this probably does have an advantage for people that aren't whales or don't already have a ton of very cheap sets, things like that. So if you're already a big completionist, you already have a ton of sets, especially the cheap ones, obviously this challenge is not going to help you too much because it even says here down below, important previously completed, recompleted, or duplicate sets do not count. So obviously Veve's taking that into consideration, but there's still a challenge for those longtime users. The ultimate set challenge, ultimate set holder challenge starts August 5th. This one's for the OGs. Every complete set in your collection counts, including duplicate sets, regardless of when you completed it. Flex your full collection and rack up the rewards. So not that it really matters, one bit of feedback. I'm kind of curious why there's a time range on this. Really, this probably could just be a snapshot. I'm assuming Veve is just going to take a snapshot at midnight, August 18th. Of who has the most sets, and that's just going to be the leaderboard for the most part. But I will say the one thing I am excited about, including the rewards and all that stuff, actually a couple things. One is I actually get an ongoing list. I hope Veve does that on the app, like an ongoing list of who has the most sets on the app. I think that would be really cool to have just in general on the app, not just when there's actually a challenge tied to it or whatever. Because as of right now, I think the only way you can see sets is if you go to a very specific user, you look them up, you see how many sets, and you have to look up every single user instead of just having an ongoing list of set completionists. And I think it'd be kind of cool to recognize those collectors on Veve. Going down here, it says the top 250 participants in each challenge will earn massive MCP point boost, so you'll get a boost to your MCP, and then also milestone-based rewards, which is only for the new unique set challenge. So I think that's kind of good. Obviously, the big-time collectors, the whales on Veve, they already have a lot of collectibles, and I think just kind of throwing more scarce collectibles at them is obviously, I think we should reward the whales, but at the same time, I think just giving them more and more scarce stuff and just kind of giving more of what they already have and kind of giving that more to the community at large would probably be a bit more beneficial. But regardless, this part's interesting too. We're also introducing community-wide milestones for the new unique set challenge. The more new sets the community completes, the bigger the prize pool for everyone is in the top 250. So this part's interesting. I really hope Veve actually just shows us either the ladder or the list or whatever it is, so we actually know like where we are at any given point, instead of just hey at the very end, hey, we collected this many sets. I think it'd be kind of cool, like, hey, if the community collects 250 sets, we're at this milestone, 500 this milestone, 1,000, and that way it kind of gives the community something to kind of shoot for, day by day, and kind of saying where we're landing there, rather than just being completely anonymous and we don't know to the very end, and that kind of stuff. So I really hope they approach it that way. If they don't, so be it. Maybe they'll kind of learn it for next time. But I think that's the kind of thing that people are looking forward to, is an ongoing list of set holders, and then an ongoing list, or at least some sort of ladder on giving the community something to kind of shoot for to unlock more collectibles and rewards for those people. So it says here both challenges run till midnight or so for the respective dates. Participants must be KYC verified. This part's interesting. Market manipulation or wash trading will result in disqualification. Now, also tiebreakers are done by Veve join date. So obviously Veve OGs for a lot of these challenges are going to kind of favor some of those Veve OGs that have been in the app the longest. That kind of makes sense to me. And obviously in the terms and conditions, it doesn't really talk too much about market manipulate. It doesn't even, I don't even think, I think it does mention a little bit about market manipulation, but the term wash trading doesn't come up at all. Technically in like the securities industry, it's like just doing a lot of buying and selling on the same security to kind of simulate that there's more activity going on, or more hype going around a certain stock or security than what's really going on, kind of giving it like a fake value. But we're talking about digital collectibles here. It's hard to kind of determine the actual value because it's all just perceived, right? It's not like you can look at like a balance book on Walt or some of these collectibles and kind of determine like a value out of it. It's all just kind of the perception of the public, right? So regardless, there's a few things I've kind of noticed already, and I've already noticed that we'll kind of look at it here in a little bit, is that I think one of these challenges, unfortunately, I don't want to say cannibalizes the other challenge, but because if we just look here closely where it says here, I think there's two things that make the second challenge kind of affect the first challenge quite a bit, which is duplicate sets. That's one thing. And then regardless of when you completed it. So because of these two terms, people have already gone in and collected a lot of the very, very cheap sets on Veve, causing the price to have already done a 2, a 3, a 4x already. So all those sets, which I'll show you guys here, we'll go ahead and just jump into it. I did use Veve set list to kind of just look up some cheap sets. I will say Veve set list has not been supported since like February of this year or so. So any drops that have happened since February of 2025 aren't on here and updated. I don't even think the prices are up to date, but I mainly just use this as a very quick reference of what are some of the cheap, one collectible sets that are available on Veve. So I just kind of looked up some of those. The first one we're going to do here is the Soulstone. I did do this on a 7-day period. So again, that tweet came out on July 18th. So July 17th, the Soulstone was worth about 1.1 gems. Then it jumps all the way up to 5 gems, right? Ever since that tweet came out, or that X post of Veve came out, obviously the price is done about a 4.5x or so, right? And I think it's because that second challenge says duplicate sets count. And on top of that, you can collect them at any point. So unfortunately, the people that are going to be going for the new set challenge, they're going to have to pay a little bit of a premium already, because they have to wait till July 22nd for that challenge. The people that are doing the second challenge that starts August 5th, they don't have to wait. They could just start collecting right away. And if anything, they can kind of sell some of those collectibles back when July 22nd starts, when that challenge starts as well. So I will say I did look up on Stacker, and there were a handful of whales that did buy 20, 30, 40, even 50 plus some of these collectibles. Now, I will say, regardless if that second challenge was announced about whenever you collect, I do think people were going to play ahead of time, right? Buy some of these collectibles ahead of time and just sell them back to people starting July 2nd onward. So honestly, I don't think that second challenge mattered all that much, but I do think it kind of exacerbated it with the duplicate, and collecting it at any point does count towards that second challenge. So who knows? Maybe the prices would have been a little bit cheaper, or maybe people would have stacked not as hard, but I still think the prices would have gone up regardless. Another example is the women's support, like war effort stamp, that was at about 2.5 gems. At one point, it went up to like 7 gems. Already, some of these collectibles are kind of pulling back already. I think people are just kind of undercutting that, people that are either in the profit or just want to get rid of their stamp. The Decon Mascot UK edition, that was going for about 2 gems. Now it's up at about 5. The Take Me Out to the Ball Game stamp, again, that was about 1.75 gems. Now it's up to 6. The Rabbits Jukebox, which I do have a few of. Unfortunately, I bought them some time ago, and I think I'm maybe at a break-even point with a few of them, but they were going for 2 gems. Now they're up to almost 5 gems. Glider Blueprint. So I think you guys are kind of getting the idea here, is that because of that, I think the second challenge did exacerbate the prices even more. If it was just the one challenge by itself, I think the prices still would have gone up, but maybe not nearly as much, because that duplicate clause in any time is kind of what maybe exacerbated it a bit more. Symbiote is another example. That was going for a little over 2.5 gems. Now it's up to about 5.5. This Little Mermaid diorama, 3 gems. Now it's up to 4.5. So one thing I will say, and I'm going to make a separate video on this, Stacker actually had a big update on their website. It looks very clean. I like the look of it. I haven't taken the time to look through everything, but I will say, if you're on Stacker, and if you are trying to get cheap sets starting tomorrow, July 22nd, and at any given moment, you're trying to find what the cheapest sets are to buy to get yourself in the running for that challenge, if you log into Stacker, I don't even think you need to be like logged in or have an account. I think you just go to Stacker. Up here in the top right corner, where it says Analytics, you'll just click Analytics and then Sets. Let's see if this loads. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to Sets. And if you change it to, instead of drop date descending, you go ahead and click total value descending or ascending. I'm not sure why it shows Colonel Sanders in the Guardians of the Galaxy poster, but it does still show the Soulstone is the cheapest set to get right now, followed by the Women's War Effort. So all the ones I just showed you before, even the Star Wars Trooper helmet, right now that's pretty much the 4th cheapest set to get. So any given moment, I'm not sure how fast or how often this updates on Stacker. I'm assuming it's pretty darn quick since it's connected to Veve. But at any given time, if you're just trying to look for a cheap set to kind of get yourself up a little bit further on that leaderboard, I would definitely go to Stacker, go to the Analytics tab, go to Sets, go ahead and send sorted by ascending order, and then you'll have a good idea of what the cheapest sets are at any given point, and then you can kind of go from there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm glad I could kind of cover this. Now, obviously, not everyone's going to be happy with every single challenge that Veve puts out there, and obviously Veve's still learning, but maybe be a little bit careful with having challenges that have, you know, kind of the entirety, and then also have like a very limited time window, 2 challenges that kind of overlap, or that might potentially cannibalize like one over the other in a general sense. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys take care and happy collecting.